You just close the door to the HR office. The severance agreement is folded neatly in your pocket, practically weightless, yet it carries the crushing gravity of 1,000-pound weight. The familiar sounds of your former life, the clacking of keyboards, the whirring of the break room coffee machine, the mundane office chatter, are officially in the rear-view mirror. No more corporate health insurance. No more predictable direct deposits magically appearing on the 1st and 15th of the month. The safety net you relied on has just been brutally yanked away. You take the elevator down to the parking garage, carrying that cliché cardboard box of desk belongings, and walk toward your car. You pop the trunk, toss the box inside, and slide into the driver's seat. You rest your forehead against the steering wheel and let out a long, heavy sigh. But as you turn the key in the ignition, the engine purrs to life, the dashboard lights up, and a sudden spark of an idea hits you. You look around the cabin. This is no longer just a 2-ton block of metal and plastic used to commute from point A to point B. This is the most valuable asset you still have absolute control over. And just like that, a romantic illusion begins to take root. You remember the articles, the flashy social media ads, and the vloggers talking about the absolute freedom of the gig economy. You picture a nearly perfect, stress-free existence. Waking up without a blaring alarm, brewing a thermos of premium coffee, syncing your phone to the display, and throwing on your favorite jazz playlist or a motivational podcast. You roll down the windows, feel the breeze, and simply swipe a screen to accept your first passenger. No micromanaging bosses breathing down your neck. No arbitrary KPIs draining your soul. No more pointless meetings that could have been an email. Passengers get in, passengers get out, and the money just automatically flows into your account. You tell yourself, if I just hustle and drive 10 hours a day, I know these streets like the back of my hand. The car is sitting right here. I am going to be my own boss. Who needs that corporate grind anyway? It sounds like the ultimate escape hatch, doesn't it? But welcome to the ruthless reality of everyday economics, where we strip away the rose-tinted glasses and look at the cold, hard numbers. The blunt truth is this: turning your personal car into a money-making machine is absolutely nothing like taking a breezy weekend road trip. What you are actually doing is bootstrapping a micro-logistics and transportation business on 4 wheels. The exact second you hit accept on your first ride, you are no longer a corporate employee seeking freedom. You are thrust into a brutal, margin-thin war of survival. You will face the terrifying erosion of mechanical depreciation, and you will gamble with legal liabilities you have never once had to think about. You think you are the master of this vehicle? If you aren't careful, you are about to become its biggest debtor. Before you rush out to vacuum your back seats and buy a dozen pine-scented air fresheners, we need to establish a fundamental economic principle. Driving for money is not a single monolithic profession. It is an ecosystem made up of entirely different business models. Each model acts as its own economic lens, requiring different skills, varying risk tolerances, and completely different operational strategies. Where you choose to deploy your vehicle will determine whether you are building a financial lifeboat or drilling a hole in the bottom of your own ship. The algorithm cog, ride-hailing apps. This is the default exit ramp that 99% of recently unemployed people instinctively take. The barrier to entry here is so low it is practically subterranean. You download an app, upload a photo of your driver's license, wait a few days for a background check, and boom, you are officially a driver partner. The seduction of this model is its absolute convenience. You spend $0 on marketing, you don't have to network, and you don't need to build a brand. The app spoon-feeds customers directly to your windshield. But what is the true cost of that convenience? You are surrendering your entire pricing power and financial destiny to an invisible algorithm. This algorithm is not programmed to care about your mortgage, your recent job loss, or the rising cost of gas. Its singular, relentless goal is to maximize corporate profit and appease the end user with the most competitive price possible. You are not the platform's customer, you are their expendable supply. In this model, you are actively competing against thousands of other desperate drivers on the exact same city block. The daily cash payouts create a dangerous illusion of liquidity, but in reality, you are selling your time, your physical health, and your car's lifespan at wholesale prices. The stop-and-go trap, last-mile delivery. If the thought of dealing with intoxicated passengers ruining your upholstery terrifies you, you might pivot to food and grocery delivery. Here, your passengers are insulated bags of takeout or cases of bottled water. The risk of interpersonal conflict drops to near zero. However, the economics of this model hide a completely different venom: the stop-and-go cycle. Delivering food means you are constantly pulling over, turning off the engine, turning it back on, idling in drive-thrus, and driving ultra-short distances. Mechanically speaking, this is the most destructive way to operate a combustion engine and transmission. The profit margin on a single delivery is microscopically thin, meaning you have to chase massive volume to make the math work. The premium hustle, private chauffeur, and concierge. This is the higher tier segment where you actively shed your reliance on tech middlemen to own the game yourself. Instead of scavenging for random $3 rides, you target clients with predictable needs and deep pockets, like driving corporate executives or shuttling families to the airport. The advantage here is massive profit margins. Clients pay for discretion, absolute punctuality, and safety. You keep 100% of the revenue. The barrier? It requires raw, old-school business acumen. You have to knock on doors, distribute business cards, and build a reputation from absolute scratch. And your margin for error is zero. The passive asset illusion, peer-to-peer car sharing. What if you realize you absolutely despise sitting behind the wheel for 10 hours a day? Peer-to-peer rental platforms allow you to list your car, set a daily rate, and hand the keys to a stranger. It sounds like the holy grail of passive income. But in economics, high reward demands high risk. You are handing over a depreciating asset worth tens of thousands of dollars to people who have zero vested interest in its longevity. Hard accelerations, spilled drinks, and curb-rashed wheels are the cost of doing business. Now, we enter the most critical part of the equation. The reason so many well-intentioned people try to drive their way out of unemployment and end up totally broke comes down to a fatal flaw in personal accounting. Most beginners calculate their driving profits using elementary school math. Money collected from passengers minus the cost of gas equals take-home profit. If this is your formula, you are on a high-speed bullet train to bankruptcy. Gas is just the visible tip of the iceberg. Lurking beneath the water are the hidden costs, invisible financial predators that quietly devour your margins minute by minute. The silent killer, depreciation. A car is not a wealth-generating asset, it is a depreciating liability. Every single time your tires rotate on the pavement, you are actively subtracting real dollars from the resale value of your car. Because depreciation doesn't send you a physical bill in the mail, your brain easily tricks you into believing it doesn't exist. When you accept a lowball fare that barely covers the cost of fuel, you aren't just breaking even. You are actually working for free, and worse, you are slowly selling pieces of your car at a massive discount to subsidize a stranger's commute. The mechanical toll. Accelerated wear and tear. Driving for a living is an endurance test for machinery. You are no longer changing your oil twice a year, you are changing it every few weeks. Your tires will wear down at an alarming rate. Brake pads will vanish. These maintenance costs are rarely linear. They ambush you. You might string together 3 great months of earnings, only to have a transmission sensor fail, forcing you to dump an entire quarter's worth of profit directly into a mechanic's cash register. The legal minefield. Commercial insurance. When you bought your car, you purchased a personal auto insurance policy. The very second you turn on an app and accept money to transport people, it becomes a commercial entity. If you get into an at-fault accident while on the clock and the insurance company discovers you were driving for hire without declaring it, they possess the absolute legal right to deny your claim entirely. To play by the rules, you must upgrade to a commercial insurance policy, which significantly increases your monthly premiums. The tax trap. Gross versus net income. Every dollar the platform deposits into your bank account is gross income, not net income. No one is withholding your taxes for you. If you fail to meticulously track your deductible business expenses, you will face a monstrous, devastating tax bill at the end of the fiscal year. When you add it all up, ruthless depreciation, constant maintenance, expensive insurance, platform commissions, and self-employment taxes, you realize the chilling truth. The actual net margin of driving your own car for money is razor thin. All of this leads us to a singular counterintuitive truth that separates the drivers who survive from the drivers who drown in debt. Your true profit doesn't come from the miles you drive or the hours you stay awake. It comes from keeping your car from becoming a money pit and converting random algorithmic passengers into a network of long-term contracts. If you rely entirely on an app to feed you random fares, you are playing a zero-sum game. You don't own a business. You have simply taken out a high-interest payday loan using the lifespan of your vehicle as collateral. The secret of successful transportation businesses is mastering customer lifetime value, finding high-value clients who book you regularly. When you build a black book of repeat clients, you transition from being a depreciating laborer to an actual business owner. Let's apply this to two realistic scenarios. Scenario 1. Riding the wave. Imagine the economy is booming. Instead of mindlessly turning on an app, you treat your car like a premium asset. You detail the interior, stock cold bottled water, and proactively introduce yourself to boutique hotel managers offering flat-rate airport transfers. The strategy works. At 6 a.m., you drive a family to the airport for a flat $75 fee, keeping 100% of it. You coordinate with another client landing at 7:30 a.m., bringing them straight back downtown. You've made a premium wage on just 2 highway trips, which are vastly better for your engine. By 2 p.m., you pull out your laptop and spend the afternoon applying for new corporate jobs, completely stress-free because your bills are covered. Your car is the perfect financial lifeboat. Scenario 2. Navigating the hurricane. You are laid off in the middle of a severe recession. Unable to find private clients, you rely entirely on the apps. It's a torrential Friday night. You fight through gridlock traffic for 40 minutes just to pick up a passenger. They get in, soaking wet, staining your upholstery. Because visibility is terrible, the car in front of you slams on its brakes, and you rear-end them. The passenger complains and gives you a 1-star rating. When you call your insurance, they investigate, find out the app was on, and deny the claim because you didn't buy commercial coverage. In one night, you owe thousands of dollars in repairs, and your freedom has violently morphed into a trap. Hearing all this, you might be thinking, is this finance channel telling me I should never use my car to make money if I get fired? Absolutely not. Economics does not exist to destroy hope. It exists to cut through the noise so you can make decisions based on reality, not panic. The fact that you refused to stay down after a layoff, grabbed your keys, and hit the streets to provide for yourself is a testament to incredible human resilience. There is immense dignity in that hustle. But the highest form of respect you can show to yourself and to your vehicle is to treat it like a legitimate business enterprise. Bring your analytical, corporate brain into the driver's seat. Account for tomorrow's maintenance bills. Protect your legal and financial future with proper insurance. And do not let yourself become a permanent servant to an algorithm. Use the app strictly as a temporary bridge while you build your own network. If you can master the costs, respect the depreciation, and build a competitive advantage, that car sitting in your driveway isn't just a depreciating piece of metal. It is the very key that will drive you through the storm and deliver you safely to the next chapter of your financial life. Keep your eyes on the road, keep your margins sharp, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.